Hello there, listeners. Welcome to the Bullpen podcast. Now, before we get started, I'd just like to quickly talk about Buzzsprout. So, over the years, myself and Jamie have worked incredibly hard and refined the Bullpen podcast into the stylish cultural phenomenon that it is today. But none of this would have been possible without Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout as a platform allows us to upload our finished work and host it on major services such as Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes and more. Simply put, without Buzzsprout, we would not have reached as many ears as we have. Once you sign up to Buzzsprout, you immediately get access to several hours worth of upload allowance a month, as well as an easy to navigate website and analytical data of every aspect of your podcast and all its listeners. If you sign up using our link in the podcast description, you'll find information on how to sign up and grab a $25 Amazon voucher courtesy of Buzzsprout. Buzzsprout is hands down the easiest way to get your podcast off the ground. Join over 100,000 podcasters getting their voices heard and sign up using our link today. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to The Bullpen, a podcast about baseball.
Yep, by the premier experts of the whole of Mansfield.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So I'm David Drew. Thanks for dropping by and joining us.
I'm Jamie Ramage.
I'm Thomas Boltby.
Thank
you for listening.
Also have Dilly Dilly,
our
little squirtle.
He's come to see us again.
Yes.
Yes, so keeping us all in order.
The boys are back. Episode 5.
Yes.
I feel alive.
Yes. Well, the boys of summer have gone and you're just left with us.
I didn't actually know if you were going to do that or not.
Yeah. Well, you have to, don't you? First shout out of the day to Don Henley.
Yep. Shout out to Don. Also shout outs, this episode and podcast is sponsored by Softball Workouts.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can find them on Twitter at Softball Workouts.
Yeah, it's very easy to find.
Very nice and easy. Any softball enthusiasts or beginners.
What is this? Softball Workouts. You can find them at Softball Workout, also softballworkoutsforfree.com.
Yep.
All your tips, drills and workouts for your anything to do with softball if you want to start to get into it or you're already playing. They offer great workouts.
Yeah, they really do.
So it's fantastic to go.
I mean, me as a softball sort of
aficionado.
Well, I was going to say beginner, but it's very kind of you to say.
Even as somebody that plays a ball game. A ball.
Helpful tips for all.
Yes.
I've noticed. Yeah, everything you need to know.
Beginner or advanced.
Yes. If only Miss Bouchard is watching.
Yeah, shouts to Eugenie Bouchard as well.
Yeah.
The one, the only.
Future sponsor of this podcast.
Yes,
absolutely.
And CRJ.
So, shout out to Colorado Jepson.
Yes.
The finest Canadian export and this side of Bryan Adams.
Yes. And talking of the finest, how about Greg's?
Yep, shout out to Greg's.
You can find them on your local high street if you're in the UK or at Greg's Official on Twitter.
I'll tell you what, this is why I like Mansfield, because there's 3 Greg's.
Yes.
So close together.
Yeah. And Iceland also sell the frozen Greg's as well.
Yeah, they do.
Very, very nice, actually, I must admit.
So when you locked out your favourite Greg's,
go to Iceland.
Because that's where all mums go to.
Absolutely.
All mums.
Absolutely.
And look where that got
and that carries on because it's Mother's Day in most of the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Not in the UK, but the rest of the world
we've had ours
celebrating their mothers.
So happy Mother's Day to all
Mother's
mothers out there.
Day to all the mothers and the littlest ones.
I mean, it's the most important part of the fabric of society, mums. Where will we be?
The most important woman you'll ever have in your life.
Absolutely. As well as Colorado Jepson. And a big shout out as well, very recently, 2 guys.
Just 2 guys.
Just 2 guys. It's a podcast called Balls Deep.
Yep, Balls Deep Pod, at Balls Deep Pod on Twitter.
So that's run out of Boston.
Yep.
Yes.
2 Boston fans, 2 Red Sox fans.
Finest American city of them all.
Well, so...
Have you been?
Not directly inside of this city. I've seen it from afar.
Okay.
Didn't like what I saw. But again,
What do you know?
I've judged that book well and truly by its cover.
Yes.
No, I'm sure it's lovely. Check out that podcast. Absolutely hilarious.
Very, very funny.
So, I mean, episode 7's the most recent one.
Yes.
Absolutely hilarious.
They also know what they're talking about.
They do.
I tell you what though, because they shouted us out.
Yes.
Very nice guys that they are. I don't know if you heard the reference that they gave that.
Rounders.
And we're Knickerbockers.
Yes.
And I read that. I tell you what, I dropped my cup of tea so fast.
Rounders is a fine game.
Yes, it gets a bad rep.
It does. I got somebody kicked out of PE for playing Rounders because I was bowling too fast. They were like, "You can't do that. We can't hit it." And it was like,
was this because you're a teacher now? No. Was this during your teaching small children?
This was when I was a young lad back in the 13th century. I'll have you know.
When you babysat Jesus.
Yes. And his dad.
And his old dad. So, gents, I mean, we've got some big news, haven't we?
We have.
Have we?
Well, we have.
Really?
Do you want me to tell you?
I'm in suspense. Please tell me.
You're in suspenders. Well, I'll tell you. I mean...
Well, that's usually
everything. Every podcast, every news station's picked this up, so everyone will know this by now. But I'm excited. MLB in the UK, 2019.
Coming to
Get
London.
out of town.
I won't. It's my town.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I mean, that's just incredible, isn't
They're
it?
bringing the baseball ground back in Derby.
They are. They're hosting it in... No, they're not. It's... well, we spoke about this briefly, didn't we? We touched on... Because there was talks of this happening, but we've had confirmation from all parties involved.
Yes.
So for those that don't know, it's the Yankees and the Red Sox 2-game series.
Yeah.
Coming all the way over to little old London town.
Yes. Home games for Boston.
Boston will be the home team.
Yeah, which is I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, two of the biggest names, probably the biggest names in baseball.
Yeah.
Like we said before, you ask anybody to name a baseball team, it's one or the other. So it's going to bring a lot of people over.
Yeah.
There are a lot of baseball. Baseball's not one of the main, obviously, sports in this country, but it has a lot of followers.
It does have a following.
Yes.
It's just not that well known, really, with it not being from this country. So it'd be great to get a little bit more exposure.
Yes.
And I think that's what the MLB wants.
What they're doing is taking it everywhere, haven't they? They've just taken it to Mexico recently.
Yeah, Mexico have had it.
Yes, they have.
Was it Puerto Rico as well?
Yeah.
They've had a couple of games.
So, yeah, on kind of like at an international level, they want to grow it by taking it everywhere.
It does make sense.
Whereas cricket seems to be the other way around. It's like, we want to make it more popular, so we're going to limit the amount of teams that go to a World Cup. And we're going to limit the amount of grounds that host 2020 cricket in England. So,
they might have completed the wrong way. Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
Well,
and we will applaud them.
They've done this with the NFL as well.
Yeah.
The NFL, I think, play so many league games at Wembley now. So, like you say, they are trying to branch it out and make it more accessible to different parts of the world that might not necessarily be accustomed to it.
You would assume that because that was an experiment with the NFL. Like no one really knew if that would take off.
No.
And it kind of
has. I mean, they sell out.
So much so
games.
there's talk of Wembley being sold to somebody that owns one of the.
His name is Shahid Khan.
So
not too far away.
Owner of Shahid Khan, owner of Fulham and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes, that's it.
So he's a rich boy.
Yes.
And a cracking moustache, by the way.
He does have a fantastic moustache.
I mean, look at that. That's.
I mean, the hair to boot as well.
Oh yeah, you can tell he's a man of the world, man of the people.
Nice.
Very, very nice.
You can say that. Nice.
So yeah, there are talks of Wembley being being sold to somebody in this country who owns a football club, and that would make it a lot more accessible as well.
And then there was rumours that he might want to have one of the NFL franchises
based over here. Yeah.
Yes.
I think the only surprising thing is that this, to go back onto MLB next year, it's going to be held at the London Stadium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Home of the 2012 Olympic Games.
And the home of West Ham Football Club.
Yep.
West Ham.
So that'll be June 29th to 30th. But yeah, my only surprise is you would have expected Wembley, wouldn't you?
You would.
As the obvious sort of centrepiece as
It is the national stadium.
I don't know if you've ventured into Stratford at all and seen the Olympic Stadium.
I've seen it from afar.
It's a big old ground.
Yeah,
and it's, if not Wembley, then that's more. Yeah, it's a pretty good.
I think the second best.
I think it would work better than Wembley because there's space to have like fan parks and merchandise on sale outside.
Yeah.
So that I guess that people that can't get tickets can still kind of savour the atmosphere, which you wouldn't really get with Wembley because it's quite enclosed.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, you mentioned tickets there. That's going to sell out.
Yes.
Like I hope it does.
So that we can get press passes.
Yeah, I really hope it takes off because it's an experiment.
It's
NFL happily it took off and did better for it.
It's just a shame it's not the Giants versus the Padres.
Maybe 2020, my friends.
The MLB has also said it was committed to playing in London in 2020 as well. And our intention is to establish a long-term footprint in the city. So that says a lot for what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
They are trying to.
So I think what the good people in Lincolnshire should do is build a baseball stadium. So obviously, if you build it, they will come.
Yeah.
And then you can have a Boston home game in England.
Boston, yeah.
Correct, yeah.
Well, yeah. You could have a New York team there somewhere in New York.
Yeah, there is already a New York stadium in the United Kingdom.
Rotherham.
There is a place
Rotherham.
called Washington, I believe, in the northeast.
Yes, Hollywood.
California in Derby.
Yep.
So we are blessed.
Yes.
With
It's as if our forefathers went over to the land that is now America and thought, what should we call these places? This is a bit of a dump. Let's call this Boston.
Oh, God.
And Norfolk.
You can never call me ever again for saying I didn't enjoy Boston.
I was talking about my experiences of the town of Lincolnshire.
It's not that bad. It's all right.
Yeah, I'm sick of it.
Sick of it. Overrated. So yeah, that's huge news for MLB fans such as us three, and I mean countless others in the UK. And I mean, it's going to be a centrepiece, and you imagine Boston, New York fans are going to travel across and make it
at least one side of London to the other.
At least, yeah. All the way from Manchester.
Reverse United.
I hope it sells. I hope it does well. I hope it sells out.
Yeah,
I read an interesting piece because it's been impossible to ignore this on any social media in the MLB circle.
Really? I haven't been following.
First you've heard, is it?
Breaking news.
Yeah. And I've seen sort of opinions saying from from Americans and UK fans of baseball that they get the atmosphere right. Because I mean, I can testify. I don't know if you've been to an MLB game.
I haven't actually,
but I guess you probably get a picture for it from watching it on TV.
Yeah,
the atmosphere in games, it's even if the ground's half full, which is different to sort of football game, you can't escape the thrill and it's just a fun day out.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, there's music played, there's just little bits and pieces happening between innings and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's because they don't segregate the fans.
Yes.
They don't have to because it's just so light-hearted.
It's sort of similar to basketball games as well.
There's slide digs between fans, and when they do the both fans will sing their team. And it's light-hearted fun.
Because there's not many original theme tunes.
There isn't. I think Dennis Waterman needs to get down there and sort something out.
Yeah, it's like
Pete Waterman, sorry.
It's like the the Liverpool anthem is stolen.
Yeah.
Not a typical Liverpool trait, but stolen from a musical.
I do refuse to sing that song.
Because you're not a fan of musicals.
Absolutely.
I think it's a lovely song.
It's okay.
I dislike Liverpool on a cellular level.
Absolutely.
As a football club, but I can't. It's hard not to get emotional when that's played.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a stolen track, isn't it? Well, who did they get it from?
From the musical Carousel.
Oh, yeah.
That's about all I know. I've never seen the musical.
Well, the
It's doing the rounds.
The Liverpoolians are known for stealing things, aren't they? So.
You said it.
Allegedly.
Squirtle Tom.
Allegedly. Quick, say allegedly.
All complaints, please be addressed to
Allegedly.
David Drink.
Oh, shit.
They would steal the wheels off a jumbo jet if it flew low enough.
Oh, God, we still talk about this.
Moving on. Swiftly.
So, I mean, that's, in terms of news, that's dominated proceedings for a while.
Absolutely.
But it's not the only thing that's happened.
No.
There's been many other things. I think past listeners will remember us referencing Danny Farquhar,
Yes.
the White Sox pitcher.
Yeah.
There's been a development in his sort of recovery. He's dropped into his old White Sox teammates, hasn't he? He's sort of out and about at hospital now. He's up on his feet. He's been to see his old pals at the club. Doctors I think they've diagnosed and said, well, he can play again,
Yes.
but as a precaution, maybe have this season off.
Yeah, they won't medically release him to throw in a game this season so he can fully recover.
Yeah.
So they have, he said, the doctor, the neurosurgeon, Dr. Demetrius Lopez, said on Monday he does expect Farquhar will be able to pitch again, but obviously he hasn't medically released him.
It's an outstanding recovery when you think about it.
It is.
I mean, it was last month.
I know, it is, when you think about it, a brain hemorrhage by a ruptured aneurysm.
Mm.
And you just think, wow.
And we've talked about this before in different sports.
We have, yeah.
Obviously, in football, you've got examples like Petr Cech. It's not something you can take lightly, because it's not like you can break your arm or break your leg and you'll be back at some point.
Yeah.
Brains
more or less at the same level of quality, but a brain, you don't know the long term
the effects.
So,
not.
I mean, all three of us sort of wishing them the best,
Obviously,
and hope to see him back out in the mound next year. And it was a lovely touch, by the way. I don't know if you saw, because obviously in the news, Alex Ferguson had a very similar.
Yes.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
similar brain.
We wish him well.
Hemorrhage, and the White Sox did tweet out and said, we've been through a similar situation. We'd like to wish him all the best. It was nice little
Very
touch.
nice, yeah.
And Manu did the same for Danny.
Yeah.
So it was a really nice touch.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It does make you sort of reflect on, all competition aside, that
it's a sport first and foremost, but they're people at the end of the day, and you've got to
human beings and
absolutely
their livelihood.
Absolutely.
Because you can't play forever.
No.
Then you have to think of your sort of
health and well-being.
Yeah, but for outside of maybe if you retire in your late 30s, what's the next step? And you need to take good care of yourself to sort of be able to do that and have options.
I agree. Yeah.
So I guess we'll take it to a lighter note.
Mm-hmm.
Mascot corner.
Go for it, dude. I'm excited for this one.
You better be. Drum roll. It is Orbit. The Houston Astros
excellent
mascot, and he had a problem down there in Houston.
Did he?
Yeah. He may be the only mascot to be ejected from a game.
You are kidding me.
No, I'm not.
You get out of town.
Yes, you're out of here.
Sorry, Ron.
So it says here on the ever-reliable Wikipedia, one of the more notable incidents involving Orbit occurred when umpire Gary Darling ejected the mascot from the game for arguing balls and strikes.
I mean, judging by that picture on Google, it looks like he's chasing Beltray out of the stadium.
Yeah. What has he got on there? He looks like he wants to be in Mexico.
Is it a sombrero?
Looks like he's got a sombrero and some maracas chasing Beltray out of the stadium.
Frightening image.
So there was a campaign on Facebook in 2010 called Bring Back Orbit.
Mm-hmm.
He was, so they wanted him reinstated after a 12-year absence. So, that's all good.
What, the mascot reinstated?
Yeah, the mascot.
What was the previous mascot then? Do we know?
The first Astros mascot was Chester Charge. and that was in 1977.
Okay.
Do you know the only other Major League Baseball side that had a mascot at the time?
Was it
The Dodgers?
No.
Padres?
It was the Padres. Do you know what it was?
I mean, it's the Friar now, isn't it?
Yeah. I take it it's the Padres because it does say San Diego.
Okay.
It's the San Diego chicken. So I might need to look that up.
Excellent.
Point,
Excellent.
that
Yeah.
just sounds too good to be true.
Is there a picture of him?
What,
The chicken. Right,
chicken.
we'll have to tweet that out.
Yes.
On the.
So yeah, apparently Orbit pays homage to Houston's association with NASA.
Because that's the thing.
Because he's an alien.
I've never I've seen that mascot before, definitely, and I've obviously Astros.
Space City, isn't it?
Yeah, and I've never put two and two together and made that
have I.
conclusion. So yeah, it makes sense now. But yeah, what is it? I wouldn't trust him.
No, he does look
that mascot.
I mean, you look at him.
I wouldn't. I don't.
He looks excuse the language, a little shit, really. he just does.
Do either of you know? Is it the Partick Thistle mascot?
That one there looks very.
Oh God.
Partick Thistle. No.
It's just I think it's a star, and it's got the derpiest face. It's like someone's gone on Microsoft Paint in 5 minutes, put together a basic star with a face. And just
his name's Kingsley. I mean, who thought of that?
He's terrifying.
He is. He genuinely is terrifying.
Whoa!
Can you imagine sending your 5-year-old kid out to the game with that next to you?
No, I couldn't.
Because when you were saying that, I was thinking of there's a cricket program for young kids called All Stars, and they have a mascot which is a big star.
Yeah.
So I thought it might be quite nice and cuddly like that one, but that was just horrific.
It is terrifying. We'll tweet that one out as well.
Yes.
In fact, what we'll do, we'll tweet both and ask which one's the creepiest looking.
Because
that's a cuddly star.
Yeah, that's
it's
a
not
lovely star.
It's not as sinister as Kingsley.
There's something very wrong with Kingsley.
Yeah,
it's like the All Stars mascot on acid.
So that's your mascot corner. That was a very lovely.
Lovely little thing.
I'm having nightmares about Kingsley for at least a week.
I mean, our mascot, thankfully.
Yes.
He's all round.
He's a man of few words.
Yes,
which is the way I like him.
He's got a very droopy sunk.
Well, I didn't want to talk about that.
Didn't want to bring it up, you know.
Very sensitive about his body there.
Keeps it behind him at all times.
Doesn't look like he's bothered though.
No.
Big old smile on his face.
Always got a smile on his face. It's one thing
why
we like him here.
So, more news.
Other news.
What have we got? Well, I've got a couple of. Well, I've got a fun one. I actually only saw this today.
Baseball. It's amazing.
Immediately went in just on the headline alone, which I'll read out for you. Ben Zabrist asks MLB for leniency on rule for shoe colour.
Okay.
It's based on an Instagram post which involves a picture of some shoes and a letter sent to him. And it's just, he's asking the question that, I mean, these shoes, I mean, we'll tweet this out as well. The shoes are just black, with a little logo on the side.
Yes. New Balance, are they?
Yeah, and and this apparently isn't good enough. So he's been charged with violating the rule. I mean, this is ridiculous. That requires at least 51% of the exterior of each player's shoe to be the club's designated primary shoe colour.
Okay.
And so, I mean, we, again, using football as a crutch, the amount of different colour shoes, or cleats as they're known, that players wear, it's rare to see a black pair of trainers anymore, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You'll see at least 3 pairs in any football match, though, usually.
Okay.
3 pairs. Can you guess where?
No.
On the referee and the linesman.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the only ones that tend to wear black boots these days.
I mean, yeah.
No, you don't see a linesman running up and down with pink boots, do you?
Well,
It'd be quite funny, that one.
Yes. I'm
Who's
sure they
hoping?
won't get any stick.
Oh, no, definitely not.
No, they don't get any stick anyway. So.
No, they're a very respectable member.
One thing about referees, that they get left alone to their job.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no sort of surrounding the referee when the decision goes the other
It's
way.
like that was a very well thought out decision, young man. Well accept that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one of my favourite things about football is referee gets a decision wrong,
Yes.
everyone accepts it.
Yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
Everyone
fair
accepts
play.
it.
It's like it's a difficult job. I wouldn't like to do it.
No. And on a serious note, I would not like to do it because they get grief.
Yeah, I must have been about 15, and through school we had to go and I was going to say umpire then, shows you the sports I play. We had to go and referee this like little year 2 football tournament or something. It was quite big, there was loads of teams, and this one game they couldn't split the 2 teams, so it went down to the amount of corners that one side had been awarded.
Christ.
Yes. And I gave a debatable corner, which in the end settled the whole
It swung
thing.
it.
Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, what have I done? So,
Was it noticeable? So,
I don't think it was noticeable.
like,
But
families of other kids' teams were like, hang on a minute, this average Joe of a referee here is...
Luckily, it was during school hours, so there wasn't too many parents about.
Okay.
But there's still some crying kids. And it's something I've managed to continue doing ever since.
Yeah, excellent. Making kids cry.
Yes. I'm an expert at that.
But yeah, referees, it's not just professional referees. You see stories of sort of Sunday league referees. So they do it off their own back.
Yeah.
Paid pittance. If they didn't officiate that game, it wouldn't happen.
Some of them actually volunteer as well.
Yeah,
And some of the hassle they get is ridiculous.
it really is. There was a BBC put a report out. I think they do it a couple of times actually, just to raise awareness. But they'll always use a recent case, and it's always a guy that's say. I think the most recent one, this one particular guy, he's refereed for years and years, Sunday League, off his own back, and he's been threatened, been kicked, been punched.
Yes.
And he said if it wasn't for other players intervening, I mean, God knows what would have happened.
Mm.
It's like you can't.
No.
You work Monday to Friday.
You do that as a sort of something you enjoy doing
As
to
a
help
lover
other
of sport.
people out as well, and you end up getting threatened, like say, abused, violated to some degree. It's ridiculous.
People that just take it just to that crazy level.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's supposed to be something that they enjoy doing as well.
Absolutely.
So,
Because if they weren't there, that event wouldn't be going off.
no.
So
And
to
then-
look at it that way as well.
To my knowledge, outside of football, is that something that happens often? Sort of.
Well, I know in rugby the referees you respect a referee down to what they say. Because they're all mic'd up, they've all got the little video cameras on.
Yeah.
And I mean, rugby is
It's a gentleman's sport.
It's a
Isn't it?
gentleman's sport played by men. I think that's the term a lot of people use. You get 16, 17 stone guys, and the mountains of men, and the way they.
I wouldn't call myself a mountain.
Well, you know, I beg to differ.
You are a temple of a boy.
You are.
I have the body of a god.
You're a bronzed Adonis. And yeah, the way they respect the referees is a world apart from the way other sports, particularly football.
Does seem to
It's
be the only
completely-
one.
At the professional level in cricket, generally the umpires are old pros, so I guess they get that kind of level of respect.
Yeah.
But I guess there's still times when things boil over and things are said. But
To the level of it's nothing compared to sort of.
I guess like on a club level, like an amateur level, it can get a bit feisty at times.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's like you got one chance every week to go out and
Yeah, of course.
enjoy yourself, have a bit of a
Yeah.
bat, and then if you get a dodgy decision, then some people are just gonna
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But
And we've seen countless MLB games now that the umpires, they take
absolutely nothing.
no abuse,
They
no
get
grief.
any sort of stick and they just throw the person out
it's
of the
like-
game. And
As Mr. Ron God and I will testify.
Yes. Sometimes it can be just a like, really?
Yeah.
And it's like, you're out of it.
Well, we've seen hitters dropping bats in a sort of tantrum-like manner.
Yes.
And the umpire's like, well, you can get straight out, sunshine.
I mean, even when the umpires gave like a really dodgy decision on an out or like on a strike, and it's nowhere near.
Yeah. And they'll just
Nowhere
look back
near the
at them.
box,
And it's
and-
like, what's that for?
And the batsman's got every right to be aggrieved
Yeah.
if
Of course,
if he feels it's a wrong decision. You just show a little bit of dissent, and you're out of the game.
Of course, yeah.
But there's respect both ways.
I can't believe you're looking at me like that. You're out of it. Right, so, Tom.
just those three now.
I'm not saying a
Just
word.
me, you, and Squirrel.
Hope you're happy.
It may be your house, but you're out of it.
Get out of your house. I can't have to take the stairs because the elevator in this penthouse suite's broken.
Oh, I know, that was awful.
Woe is me.
7 flights of stairs to bring my laptop up. That was just
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
And Squirtle was not best pleased.
I mean, no, he's only a little turtle.
Turtle, yeah.
You know, it's
At least he can roll down the stairs on the way out.
And not one of you has mentioned the new jacuzzi I've installed.
Oh,
Not one of you has noticed and asked.
Yeah,
It's like I do it for
I've
nothing.
not been invited to it.
Well, I mean,
the bubbles are just too much.
it's in the other annex. You might not see it
Oh,
here. Yeah,
okay.
it's just down the hall.
Next to the library.
The other library.
Oh, that one. Okay.
In between the study and the library.
Oh, okay, that one. I get you. I get you. You have to show me around.
I've got time.
If you've not seen the menagerie out back,
Dr. Dring's Magical Menagerie.
it's got all the MLB birds in there.
Well,
Yeah, it's just got no real.
And a blue jay.
hey, regular old Attenborough sat next to me.
And a cardinal.
Well, now cat steady on now. Making me a fool.
And it's got a bear in there.
Okay, okay.
Is he from Delaware? Shipped in from
And
Delaware.
that's, I mean, well, I think you've done that on purpose, haven't you? Does that lead nicely into your little feature?
Cool and the gang.
Cool and the
Called
gang.
The Gang.
Yes. So
How's he been?
he's been doing okay, I think.
He's alright.
Yeah, he's just too cool for baseball.
I think he's a cool boy.
Yeah,
I'd like to invite him onto this podcast, actually.
yeah. If he's listening, which I'm sure he
This is
is.
available.
Yeah. So I think he's supposed to be pitching tonight.
Okay.
Few innings, all in a day's work.
He's a pirate, right?
He is a Pirate.
Hmm.
But I guess what I've seen on his Twitter lately is all about how he wants it to go to Delaware State University, because obviously they're the best. They've got a rather amusing name.
So
Yeah.
is
Very good name.
is Chad Cool actually from Delaware then?
He
okay.
is.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Bear, Delaware.
Bear Delaware. I just want to go there.
Hmm.
I mean, who wouldn't?
I've been through it on the train, and that's
Yeah.
my claim to fame.
Nice. Blue Hens. They're the good people of Delaware.
You have one of them in your menagerie as well, don't you? A blue hen.
I've got 1 blue, 14 reds,
Yes.
and a purple.
We-
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, the purple ones are extra rare because the amount of time it takes those little Taiwanese boys to paint all the feathers.
Just quickly, did you feed either of the tigers on the way in?
Ah, I forgot.
Oh, God. That means they're going to have us on the way out.
Well, I'll have to get off. I mean, one of my assistants is off today, so
Yeah, they're just going to fight each other now, aren't they? And probably devour your purple hen.
I've got a regular old Siegfried and Roy situation now. Going to get down there and we'll get mauled.
Yes.
My magic career will be over.
Yeah. And Yeah, you got the ghost of Harambe.
Harambe loved baseball.
You did.
What team did Harambe support?
I don't know.
Any of you listening, if you know what team Harambe supported.
Someone
Was,
out there
that,
should
was,
know.
was the zoo not in Cincinnati? Which would make him a Reds fan.
Yeah, I guess.
Something's telling me the zoo was in Cincinnati.
I mean,
That's something you'll have to look up.
where's the logic in this?
R.I.P. Harambe.
Yeah, forever in our hearts.
Absolutely.
If he was alive today, 100% would have sponsored this podcast.
Absolutely. First subscriber.
Yeah, first sub. Would have
Gave
sponsored it. It would
Gave
have
us tickets to the zoo.
And to see the Reds as well.
And to see the Reds as well. Yep.
First pitch, it would have let us throw
Yeah.
to him
Yep.
to hit.
And he would have smashed it out of the
400 miles an
He would
hour.
have crushed that.
It's not a laughing matter, is it?
It's not.
Rest in peace, Harambe. Okay, so moving on. So, are you? Is that Chad Cool? Is that his business taken care of?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay.
I don't know if he's actually pitched tonight, to be honest.
Yeah, the last I looked, seen he pitched 6 innings and there was at least 2 errors in that.
Yeah, they were losing 5-0
Yeah.
at the time. Don't know if that's changed since.
It's difficult being a pitcher, I guess, in that on any given day you can just do your best and you still hit out of the park.
Yeah.
And then you only get to play that once a week.
Yeah, that is true. It is true.
Yeah.
And it must be frustrating as well because, I can sort of vouch for this. For instance, a pitcher will play 8 innings.
Yeah.
And let's say he's done it flawlessly. Everyone's been struck out, no runs conceded.
Yeah.
And then the relief pitcher comes in.
Then he gets
After all his hard work, he's like, okay, do your best.
Yeah. He's the relief pitcher that you're thinking of. I'll hand it to you.
hand it to you on a plate.
It's none other than Brad Hand I'm discussing. And this is a little feature you've wanted to include.
Yeah. And I guess we can give this out to the listeners. Who is the player on your team that you just do not like?
Yeah.
The sort of pantomime villain.
Yeah.
So to speak, yeah.
So, as for me, I've mentioned Brad Hand. And this is more in his early season form, because more than one occasion he's come in 8th inning, 9th inning, Padres up. And then fast forward to the end of the game, Padres lose.
I think we could just surmise from that the Padres suck.
They don't suck. They're just...
They're in transition.
Yeah. And I hope... I just want them to do well.
Yeah.
And I'm sick of... They go into a new season and then win maybe one game. And it's
all season.
Oh, yeah.
They go 1 and 161 over the season.
It's not World Series form, is it? and I don't want to... But, you asked the question, pick a player, and the first to mind was Brad Hand. But to his credit, he's picked up. He's playing better now. Maybe nerves, maybe, I don't know, something going on, but he's improved, he's got better. As far as the team goes, the form hasn't picked up, but
no.
What can you do? It's just a man. Just one man.
Just one man.
So who would be... Have you got a specific one for the...
I don't actually.
The Giants?
No, actually.
I guess it'd be Mr. Price for the Red Sox.
Okay.
I guess, as our friends on the Balls Deep podcast said, it'd probably be better if he went to like a nondescript team where nobody really notices him, like San Diego.
You're savage tonight.
That was their suggestion. And I guess it's because he kind of seems to be thinking of coming up with excuses of how to get out of ball games.
Oh, okay.
Whether they're real or not.
So that's a different sort of reason to mine based on form. Yours is just his sort of aptitude, I guess.
Attitudes as well.
And just does he want to play for that team?
Could it be it's just a bit too much? I don't know.
So what's his situation? Is he a rookie that's come in, or is he Is he
As the expert that I am,
I thought I'd ask the Red Sox fan in the room.
I don't know much about him. Ask me about Johnny Damon and Big Pappy.
So that reminds me, and it's been documented recently, Mesut Ozil for Arsenal.
Yep.
He's been called out on his sort of willingness to play for that team.
Called out for the past 2 or 3 seasons, I think.
I think this is more. It gets out of games.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Or his injuries sort of legit.
You can have one good game in 4 or 5, and he seems to think that warrants his £300,000 a week pay packet, which it doesn't.
No, it really doesn't.
And yeah, it goes back to the willingness to turn up for games. Because he can do it on international level when he was international level, but club fans don't care about what you do for your country. They care about what you do for their club team. They're the ones who pay your wages.
And if anything, for a club fan, your country is the bane of their life because you sort of send them off to an international break to play games.
Could always come back and get injured.
Exactly.
So do you know where David Price got his carpal tunnel syndrome from?
I don't.
From playing Fortnite.
Really?
Really.
Oh wow.
So I guess that's not going to...
Was it after 2 weeks?
I'm not sure.
That joke flew straight over your head, didn't it?
Oh. Well, to be fair, he does play once every other week.
Excellent. So that would be your choice, would it, then, if you had to pick a player?
I guess so, yeah. It's like back in the day when I used to go watch Mansfield Town play back in about 1998, just to make people feel old. And there was one player there, Tony Ford, who played. He was like 900 at the time. He's got like the record for the most outfield appearances in Football League history.
Wow.
And just every game he was here, it's like, why is he playing? What's he done that for? And so it's as if people like to have a target that they can just vent a bit of a frustration on.
Yeah.
But then who does Tony Ford or David Price go and vent their frustration on?
That's very true.
Fortnite.
And look what that's done to him.
Yes.
Carpal tunnel.
Yeah. So have you
I haven't actually. I found one guy. Judging by his stats, he's not having a particularly good season so far. Played one game, pitched one inning, and has an ERA of 18.
That is outrageous.
So that's not particularly. And his name's Jose Valdez.
I mean,
Pitcher for the Giants.
Are we going to touch on sort of club form among us? Or, I mean, I've already mentioned that Padres suck
Padres
unequivocally. So,
Red Sox suck every so often.
Just how much do they suck?
They're just the suckiest.
Shout out to the Red Sox.
Yes.
I mean, they've closed the gap, haven't they? The Yankees.
Yeah, those old.
It's very tense at the top.
Yeah.
No gooders.
I mean, the turning point for that must be the series recently.
Yeah.
Between
Yeah,
yourselves.
the Yankees, did they win their series?
Yeah,
I believe they did.
2-1.
Yeah.
So it's. But we've mentioned before.
Momentum, I guess, as well.
At the top there now, it is tweaked.
Very, very tight. 4 runs swinging, I think.
Yeah.
4 runs separating first and second.
Um,
And I don't know. I mean, Red Sox are playing currently, aren't they?
Yep, they're 5-3 up
5-3
Blue
up.
Jays.
Yeah.
Middle of the ninth. So
The Giants
does that mean?
That's a 6-5 win for the Blue Jays then.
The Giants have beat the Pirates 5-0,
Uh,
which breaks a streak of 6 in a row.
who's the team that's absolutely smashing it today?
The Baltimore Orioles.
Absolute shout out to
The
them.
Tampa Bay Rays 17-1-7 to 1.
I mean, there's stones on that team to play absolutely awful all season.
17 runs on 19 hits. You know,
That's made of gold. It's just every hit is a potential run, isn't it? It's crazy. And they're not playing mugs either, are they? They've not played a team that's sort of known for rolling over. The Rays aren't terrible.
well, the Rays at the minute, they're 16-22, and the Baltimore Orioles were 12-28, and are 13-28. So
Yeah, massive shout out to the Orioles for that.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as the Giants go, then form-wise, what are your opinions?
I mean, we couldn't touch the Phillies when we played them. They absolutely steamrolled us. I think we lost 3 to them, 3 in a row to them that series. Then we lost the first 3, I think, to the Pirates, and we won the game tonight. So that breaks a run of 6 in a row where we've lost.
Stops the
I
run.
think we conceded 11 runs twice, once to the Phillies and once to the Pirates. So we've been shipping runs and we've just not been. Our bats have been cold. But tonight, good pitching by Holland gave us the win, 5-0 win.
Do you mean that with the Netherlands?
Yes, I do mean Netherlands.
And how's your boy doing, Mike Pence's lad? How's
Hunter
he?
Pence, I don't think he played tonight, actually. No, he didn't play tonight. So he is MIA. Missing in action tonight. Yeah, a lot of people got hits tonight. There was Brandon Crawford got 3 hits on 4 at bats.
Excellent.
Brandon Belt got 3 hits off 5 at bats. Tomlinson 2 off 4. So yeah, the bats were quite hot tonight, which is, like I say, a change from recent form, and it breaks the skid really.
Well, should we dive in some news?
Shall we?
Some new news.
I have a small one, and then I'll read the news. This
Good at that saying.
This is in relation to Hayley Dawson.
Yep.
Brave Hayley Dawson on
The one and only.
her journey to 30. Last week, I believe it was, hit number 7 at the home of the Texas Rangers. So
Where is the home of the Texas Rangers?
I believe it's in Texas. 100%.
What is the name of their ballpark?
Oh, that's a question for another time.
The Rangers.
Yeah, it was the
that
fifth.
Was that number 7 out of 30?
That was 7, yeah.
Yeah, number 7.
It's good if I can cut all this out. It's the Globe Life Park.
Nice.
It's in Arlington.
Arlington, Texas. Yeah.
In fact, that's interesting because I saw U2 last year in Texas.
Yeah.
I have a funny feeling it's the same place.
So you saw U2?
Yeah, it was U2 supported by Noel Gallagher, I think it was,
Okay.
in the old Texas. I'm sure it was Arlington.
Yeah. I was just getting a bit confused because obviously the other team from somewhere plays at Minute Maid Park.
Could you be any less vague?
Maybe. I'm not sure. Possibly. I'll give you an answer tomorrow.
Okay.
There's nothing like sitting on a fence.
Well, you think I'm bad at comebacks, do you?
And where's all gone?
Yeah.
So that's excellent for her.
Yeah.
I will tweet out the picture. I keep saying it. I'm like a broken record, but I will tweet the picture of her.
You look like a broken record.
Thanks. I will tweet that itinerary out.
Also, it is like the Houston, Texas game tonight as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big game.
Big game.
Yeah.
6-1 to the Astros. Bottom of the 8th. And also the 2 Chicago sides are playing tonight as well.
They are. And the one with the lesser record is actually winning. The White Sox are beating the Cubs 5-3, top of the 9th.
That's crazy. I'm pretty sure the Cubs at the minute are on a 5-win streak. As are 3 other teams in that division.
Probably.
Yeah, the Cubs 5 in a row at the minute. The White Sox are on a 7-game losing streak at the minute.
Well, it's only going to go one way, isn't it?
That's it.
So, shall we? Do you want to hear about my boy?
Yes.
My favourite player of all time?
Who?
It's Mike Trout.
The one, the only.
And I've been trouting about this week.
And you're Trout and proud.
I'm Trout to the closet. He's a special player. Placed in my heart as Mike Trout. And he's just a nice little...
An all-round good chap.
Well, he's good everywhere he plays. So this references a game against the Mariners. So during a play from the Mariners,
You were a bit confused about this earlier as well, weren't you?
I was very confused. I've been.
He's not a pitcher. What are you talking about?
And I went into this article full bored by just reading the headline. I'd been corrected though. So it's during a Mariners play, and then Trout received the ball in the outfield, and according to this headline, an absolute fireball, 91 miles an hour, 202 yards, just laser sighted, and makes the play, gets the assist.
That's crazy.
He's good with the bat and good with his throwing arm. So,
Yes.
what can't that man do?
Can he do it on a Wednesday in Stoke?
There we go. It's only a matter of time.
Can he run a successful podcast in Mansfield?
Probably.
Damn,
He can
Ali.
do whatever he wants.
he could do it once, yeah.
But could he do it as well as us?
Debatable.
Yeah, he probably could.
I'd say debatable.
Speaking of, just quickly, big shout out and thank you to everyone that's dropped in so far.
That's sticking by.
And it's just, we've checked the views and things for our
That's
last
very
episodes.
encouraging.
Very, very.
Thank you to all 7 of you.
Yeah, seven subscribers.
100
And then the 8 people that have listened.
100 plus views on our last episode, which is fantastic.
Really happy about that.
Yes.
On the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Chuffed to bits.
Chuffed to the
Fantastic.
hilt. So do you want to discuss your...
Here's Johnny, is my segment.
Here's
Focusing
Johnny.
on the Giants pitcher, Johnny Cueto. He's currently on the DL. So
on the
that's-
down
on the
low.
down low.
He is. He's on the 60-day disabled list at the moment.
What's he done to himself?
Well, he said that he was pitching in constant pain. Before he was... Well, they've added him to the 60-day DL. He had indicated that he was feeling pain. He had said he'll likely need most of June to recover from his right sore elbow. He had a 0.84 ERA before he was sidelined, best in the major league. And then he yielded 2 runs on 3 hits against the Dodgers in his last game. But he's happy not to need Tommy John elbow surgery, which would have left him out for at least a year.
Christ.
They've put him on the DL. But on a plus note, a regular favourite of ours, Madison Bumgarner, will be in the bullpen soon, according to Bruce Bochy. So that'll be a plus for us because our pitching's been sporadic so far. So hopefully we'll add some sort of solidity.
Some mad bumness to it all.
Mad bum. So yeah, it's a shame for Johnny Cueto because he was on fire really. Like I say, 0.84 ERA, which was just fantastic.
It's crazy when you think that
Yeah.
60-day DL list that was the same given to Farquhar for his brain hemorrhage. And Cueto's got a sore elbow.
Sore elbow.
Yeah, so BB.
Yeah.
So I wonder, is that a fixed feature then, the 60-day DL? Is that just I seem to see it a lot recently. Is it?
I guess it must be because
It must be
I guess you have to have a certain amount in your roster of players. So if you I guess you need to know how long you're going to have a replacement for.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to call. Sometimes you have to call people up from your lower league teams
from the baby cakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I say, you do need to know how many people how long you're going to have a certain person for. So
Shout out to the baby cakes as well.
Yes.
yeah.
I think they're our favourite. They definitely are. I'm not going to sit on any fences here.
No
They
fences.
Definitely are our favourite minor league
team, yeah.
team. Yeah.
Double A team, absolutely.
Yes.
I think for a name like that, that's
Yeah. How can you not love it? I don't know.
I like a cake or two.
And I think when you go there, you know how teams kind of just hand out random stuff. I would be very disappointed if I didn't get like a little baby cake. A little mini cake when I went there.
Do you know, I would like to see, because an MLB game, they'll fire T-shirts out of a cannon.
Yes.
Oh,
The mascot will come along and just fire T-shirts out of a cannon.
Yeah.
What about the baby cakes game?
Yes.
Tiny cake is fired from a can.
There would be crumbs everywhere.
Would be.
Are you gonna sweep that up?
Well,
I guess baseball is all about sweeping.
hey.
You know?
This man's here for one reason only.
Yes.
It's comedy gold.
To make everybody else sound funny.
Why else would you be here?
I'm still asking that. Why are you here?
I ask myself that all the time. I know why we have Tom here, because he's got the looks.
Well, the stats at his fingertips.
He's got the suave sophistication and just everything that you could wish to be in a man.
I'm truly humbled.
Yeah. I mean, we might well just leave.
Yeah. We'll leave him a Squirtle.
Squirrel is an adequate replacement.
Yeah.
Are you two guys hungry?
I'm peckish.
So I'm going to serve a crazy treat for you.
Okay.
You could say it's a little nuts.
He just gave the reply, nuts. Nuts as well?
Yeah, salted nuts. And that will be our poll tonight. Which one do you prefer?
Honey roasted peanuts or salted peanuts?
Oh,
So I think salted is your
what you go to, really.
your bar nuts flavour.
Yeah.
Bar nuts do have added urine on them.
And the rest.
Yes.
And the rest. It's not
E.
a
coli.
it's not a safe environment to eat any kind of food. It was very fresh.
Yes.
In fact, I opened that bag just then, and a light breeze came out of that bag there. Actually reminded me of being at the East Coast a few years ago as a child. Honey roasted.
You wanted to get the dry roasted, which was your bad. Because obviously, when we first heard what the options were going to be, we were like, salted every day. But honey nut is probably...
You could always have a 3-pole sort of.
We could do.
You know, dry roasted, honey roasted,
Yeah.
solid.
So, I mean, interestingly, for the listeners, the honey roasted bag's around half the size,
Yep.
but the nuts are bigger, I think.
No.
They go in your mouth quite nicely.
They do. Very sweet. The honey taste does get you. You can tell.
Bit of a kick.
So I'm actually quite torn because
I am. I said
As
from the
Natalie
off.
Imbruglia would say.
I said from the off before we even did the taste test that salted peanuts were my go-to. But after having the honey roasted ones, they are
the nuts.
They are the puppy's nuts. They're not the dog's bollocks, they're the puppy's nuts.
So I'm honestly I don't know which way I'm going to swing with this one. I think. Oh,
I do like salted, I must admit.
I'm going to say pure because that's the first time I've had honey roasted peanuts, and I'm quite a fan. So
Yeah.
I think honey roasted for me.
Yeah.
If I had to pick one of the two,
For me, it's salted.
yeah.
So,
you're splitting the vote again,
probably.
Mr.
The
Randy.
deciding vote is you, Jamie.
Well, I guess I ought to have enough. Code Fresh are a Leicester company from Nairobi to Leicester.
Excellent.
So their founders came over from Kenya in the 60s and they set up some tasty snacks.
Very tasty.
Very tasty indeed.
Yeah, so kind of Indian snacks, kind of the Bombay mix.
Very nice.
And this is all stop me stalling.
Just savouring the taste of the nuts.
Yes.
Very
So,
nice.
I'm on the edge of my seat waiting for your answer.
yeah. Let's go honey roasted.
Honey roasted wins it.
Yeah.
But we'll throw it out to the people.
Yeah, as always.
Twitter,
The
as
people
always,
that
for their
matter.
vote. Yep, the people that matter for their
It's
important
a
vote.
bit like Eurovision last night. We think we've got a winner, but we probably haven't.
Are we talking about that?
We are, yeah.
Oh,
Bring
okay.
Eurovision Song Contest.
Because it cost you money.
Well, shall we start from the top? Shall we talk about sort of why it's shall we talk about what it is first of all?
It is, yes.
Because I've
It's
tried to explain
It's
this
the
to
last known ever place of Engelbert
you.
Hunkabit.
The last bastion of European music
Yes.
on a worldwide stage, and it's so
So European that Australia are part of it.
we'll get to that again later.
You're going to have to
very,
explain
very quickly.
You're going to have to explain that to me.
So, I can't.
I'm still racking my brain at that, to be honest.
So, Eurovision Song Contest, it began in, was it the 60s, 70s?
50s.
50s.
Okay.
And it was a showcase of various countries in Europe and their song writing and song performing talent.
Yes.
So each nation would have a song, and then there'd be a vote, and the nation that won it hosted it the very next year.
Yes, I do believe it's named after a production company that kind of encompasses kind of European TV and stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's where it first came from.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Hence Eurovision.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And so that's how it sort of was for years and years and years. Well, then this last decade, there seems to be a couple of little changes. Mm-hmm. So, I mean,
just to keep it so fresh.
Well, you'd think so. Like Tom's alluded to, Australia being an entrant, Israel being an entrant, Azerbaijan being an entrant. I mean, you look at where Israel is.
But look at where they are globally.
Well, let's address the elephant in the room. Look at where Australia is.
It's just off the coast of Spain.
You can see it from Dover.
It's a very small island in the English Channel, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, many people that've flown to, or even just the Eurostar to
and
France.
then the Isle of Wight is just a massive great big continent on the other side of the
full of wallabies.
Yeah, and koalas and deadly spiders. So yeah, I've no idea still to this day how they're in the Eurovision Song Contest.
And it's that was a few years ago, wasn't it, Australia?
Yeah.
And I guess to their credit, because the Eurovision Song Contest is 100% political in terms of who votes for who.
100% political,
which was very evident.
If you look at it cynically,
we look at it logically,
because obviously, if you're in a certain area of the region, you're going to have more similar music tastes. So therefore, you're more likely to vote for them based on what you actually like to listen.
Potentially.
To. There you go. There's my positive spin.
There's your positive spin.
I'll just throw something out there. I didn't watch the results, but I will bet money that Portugal got the maximum vote from Spain, and Spain got the maximum vote from Portugal.
Off the top of my head, I can't remember.
I don't think so, because Portugal came bottom.
Yeah, they got...
Okay, we're supposed to change for us.
Well, no, they didn't, did they? Because when it got to the nonsense round of votes, after the original round of votes...
They still finished bottom.
Did they really?
Yeah.
So what they do now, it used to always be, so we'll go around to all the different nations at the voting stage, and it's 1 to 12 points, and then based on phone votings and that kind of thing.
So the first round of votes were based on the points of judges from the different countries.
No, that was the second round of votes.
No, that was the first one.
I thought the second round was
just
based on judges' popularity.
That's why they had all the weird points scoring. It's because they added all that the different countries' phone votes, and it just gave them that extra time to calculate them.
It was such a strange system, because we were watching it, and I backed Sweden to win as a money bet, and it was very tense. It was like they were sort of first for a bit, and then second and third, and I think they finished second, around 10 points behind Austria, who. So we sort of assumed, well, Austria won. Great. But then the second round of votes was...
I didn't know there was a second round of votes.
It's only been
the
last few years. At the end of it, the eventual winner, Israel, before this were about 5th or 6th. They won by about 200 points in the end, or some ridiculous amount, based on this second round of votes.
So what's the second round of votes? They get given a random number?
It's the judges. Judges are one round, and then the second round is the phone.
The phone votes from the country, okay.
And it's just... It makes a mockery of it, because all the tension of the first bit...
It's just wiped out.
Because, like Sweden, in the end, finished 8th.
Where did the UK finish?
They did,
6th. No, let's not like 21st, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, but they did add fake tension into it, didn't they? When there's like 2 left, it's like, who's it going to be?
Yeah, it came down to Cyprus or Israel, and whoever won that next bit would have won the overall thing, based on where they were.
I don't know.
But it was just bizarre, and
how bizarre.
It was crazy. It was nuts.
Yes.
It was nice.
I was thinking of the song How Bizarre from the 90s.
Why was it panned?
It wasn't panned. It was a great song.
Why was it panned?
Because it was music gold.
Do you know who the UK's only winner of the Eurovision was?
There's a couple. There's
There's a couple?
There's at least 3.
Is there?
Sandy Shaw.
Our cat,
Okay.
and her waves.
Clifford.
Okay. Who won it
Big
in
Red Dog.
1981?
Bucks Fizz. So
Correct.
that's 4. 4 winners.
Okay. I thought there was one. I stand corrected. That's actually a really good sign.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, that was the year I was born.
Making your mind.
81. So the next time we're going to win it will be the year I die.
2019.
Thank you, David.
You're welcome. In a freak baseball accident
Yes.
Yeah. At the London
at
Stadium.
the London Stadium.
Being hit by
More to
Mookie
death.
Betts' home run.
More to death by Yankees fans.
Or Boston, based on what you've said about their lovely city.
I didn't say anything about their lovely city. I said about the crappy little town in Lincolnshire.
Everything can be took out of context.
Can do.
Absolutely.
I know this as the editor of this podcast.
Oh, such a lovely boy.
Well, I mean, have we got anything left? Anything else you want to talk about?
Shout out to Albert Pujols who reached his 3,000th hit.
We actually got there, did
He
we?
did get there. He joins, I think, 29 other people.
30.
Which includes,
Yeah.
of course,
Everybody's favourite.
I mean, it's not long.
Bernie Mac.
Jury's still out on whether I'm a fan.
Well, you should have respect for the dead.
I think the integrity of coming out of retirement, I don't know,
He's
it
42.
makes a mockery of it.
Well,
Personally.
it wasn't his fault. It was a statistical error.
I smell fixing.
What, so that there could be a film? It's like, yeah, wow, I've got 3,000 hits.
Or have you?
And then the credits roll up. Yeah, great film that would have been, wouldn't it? God.
In the age of sort of progressive movie telling, it's going to happen at some point, isn't it? There's going to be a movie that's... Because there's movies that's like... I think the longest movie recorded is 12 hours long, if I remember rightly. And so at some point on the other end of the scale, a 5-second movie
Yes.
that's Oscar eligible.
So is Pujols the movie the sequel to Holes?
Would you watch it if it was?
Only if it's got what's his face in it as well.
Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah, that's the known to his close mates. What's his face?
What's his
It's
face?
close pals.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to James Paxton, who became the first Canadian to throw a no-hitter in Canada.
Oh my
Versus
god!
the Blue Jays.
I just remembered. There's an Irish baseball player, isn't there?
Yes.
Yes, there is.
Was it his first ever hit? Was it?
Something like that. Yeah, he's the first
First
Irish.
Irishman ever to get a hit in the MLB.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the very first.
He's the first in a long time.
Yeah, since 70 odd years, I think.
Yeah, I saw something on Twitter earlier on today. Something regarding that. I can't remember exactly what it was.
And the Irishmen played their first cricket test match.
PJ Conlon.
PJ Conlon.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Hero.
Yep. Yeah, it was the first in around 73 years.
Wow. Who was the one before that, do you know? Does it say?
Ooh, baby. How long have you got?
Barbara O'Reilly.
But yeah, that's, I can imagine there's any Irish MLB fans out there. Round moment for you, isn't it? Representing MLB. It does beg the question, English MLB players?
Yeah.
Do you reckon there's a chance? Do you reckon on the back of sort of next year's little London 2-game series
Yeah.
that maybe MLB will look at, we could draft.
When I was looking to that. They did have... there was an MLB event in this country a couple of years ago. And a couple of England cricketers had a go at the home run
was
derby.
it Alex Hales and Josh Butler?
Yeah. So...
Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
Yeah,
not a
so
fan of the
something
Yankees?
something to look out for. So when MLB comes over, will the MLB look at drafting someone from here.
I really hope so.
It's a long shot because, like I say, it's not a well-known sport. It's not.
No, but it's still an active sport. I mean, we've seen leagues and
Yep.
in bits and pieces.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Well, I guess if they built a baseball ground in Derby, there must have been a decent level of leagues and communities.
Something must have happened around that time for that just to explode into the UK out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And I hope going forward that something, is it too much to imagine a pro UK MLB league? It can happen, and it's happening in other sports. Why
Anything can happen. I mean, if someone with money comes along and they
that's the biggest factor.
Money talks.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see on that. It'd be interesting if it did.
I think if anything, an NFL Pro League would happen first, based on just it was the first to sort of cross shores.
Yeah.
But they've tried. I guess they have tried kind of domestic NFL before, haven't they? The London Broncos. Was it the Broncos? Or was that the rugby league team? But there was a European NFL league, wasn't there? And there was at least one London side in that.
Okay.
And I think an Edinburgh side.
Okay.
So we'll see. Hopefully. Well, I think, like you say, money will determine
money talks.
Whether something happens
I
there.
think it all depends on how next year goes.
And I hope we'll fast forward in a year's time. I guess three of us will be.
We'll hope to be there.
Absolutely. As the avid fans that we are.
I'd probably give it a miss.
Yeah, got so I'm busy. Washing my hair.
I'm still washing mine from last week.
Yeah, big job. Right, guys, are we calling it?
Wrapping that up?
Yeah, because we've got some nuts to get ducked into.
So, again, we'll shout out our good friends at Softball Workouts.
Yeah.
Our good friends at Balls Deep. Their podcast. Oh, honestly, check it out. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Just two guys, just like us, just having a laugh with it.
And I guess if you love it that much, you will be balls deep.
Absolutely. Be very careful Googling that, though.
Yes.
Probably safest place to go through our Twitter. As I've discovered. Googling those words, it's not the best.
To a multitude of sins.
Yeah, you're in a world of pain.
Yeah. It's all about kittens.
Yes.
Yeah. Deep in a pit of balls of wool.
So, go follow us, Bullpen Pod, on Twitter.
Yeah. Go follow David Ring.
Yeah, follow Dringy Pie, that's me.
Yeah. If you want to follow me, I don't care. But I'm at the Famous Strauss. Famous Strauss. At Famous Strauss.
At Famous
Not
Strauss.
the Famous Strauss.
No, at Famous Strauss.
Yeah.
And I'm at T Boltby.
Excellent.
It's quite a simple.
The only one with a sensible name.
The only one with it, just so I don't forget my own name when I'm older.
We have got a YouTube. We'll drop links to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Over the course of when this drops. I'm assuming Monday when this drops.
Thursday.
Yep.
Or just next week.
Yeah.
Or the week after.
Yeah. 15th of February.
An update will be announced in due course.
Yeah. If you're on YouTube, give us a sub. That really does help us.
It does.
And sort of all up.
We do like Subway sandwiches.
We love a good 6-incher, don't we?
We do.
12 inches just too much for 6-inch. Oh, perfect.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for listening.
The next time.